Hello everybody! Today we will be talking about our build order, skill order, things we're looking to do with good old bro back here. One of the most aggressive, if not the most aggressive, lane support outside of possibly Khepri. He's got great clear, he's got great presence, he's got great offensive capabilities, and pairs very well with really aggressive ADCs in the early game. Not to mention, fairly recently he's gotten some buffs. So let's get into our God Builder stage. Looking at some of our items, these should not be here, blah, 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 blah. Waste of item slots, super old build stuff. Starting off, you're looking at Watcher's Gift. You don't really have an option right now as a support on starter items. Watcher's Gift is too strong to think about getting anything else outside of like super crazy situations, but you're not going to run into those on Sobek. You're getting Watcher's Gift. This is going to help a lot with your mana problems. Even though Sobek's mana costs have been reduced quite a bit, you still want to have the Watcher's Gift for your mana sustain. As far as consumables go, you grab your health pots. You can go multi-potions on Sobek, but for the most part, you're probably going to want mana potions. It's a lot easier to maintain your mana with those mana potions comparatively to multi-potions, but if you're feeling very comfortable, you can go healing and multi-potions, but you need to make sure that you're not last hitting the minions if you go multi-potions on Sobek. If you do, you're not going to be getting the bonus mana from Watcher's Gift, and you're going to be running out of mana a bit early, and you don't want that. And of course, ward near consumables for ease of access. For your first item, you're looking at your boots. You have two options. Cooldown boots, which I prefer, or damage boots. Both work well. I prefer the cooldown boots on Sobek for several reasons. One, it gives you mana, which is awesome for Sobek. Two, it gives you cooldown reduction. The cooldown reduction on Sobek, really strong for getting your crowd control out. More tail whips, more plucks, more sustain with your 3, more ultimates for mana. I prefer that. You can go the pen boots, it's more aggressive. If you're getting ahead early, that's not a bad option. It does give you the pen, which is going to let you put out a lot more damage with the abilities that you're using early game, but you will run out of your mana faster. You won't have your skills up as quickly. You won't be able to peel as much for your team, but it is a bit more aggressive. Going into your core items, you have a couple options. Two of the main core items right now on Sobek, as well as pretty much every support right now, is Heartward and Sovereignty. For the most part, you're getting Sovereignty before Heartward. When you're getting Heartward first, when you're against a Freya Bacchus lane, right? You're going against a magical damage ADC, you're gonna get you're gonna get magic damage first. If you're going against a magical mid and solo and guardian, so they've got 3 magical damage, you're gonna be getting a Heartward amulet first. They're running a standard comp, you're grabbing Sov. If they're running double ADC, if they're running quadra physical damage, if they're running 3 auto attack based characters, you may want to be looking at mid guardian male as your first item. Still one of the strongest items in the game. Comparatively to Sovereignty, it's going to give you 150 more health, gives you 5 more physical protections. You don't get the magical protections, which is why you want to get this item, particularly against auto attack based physical gods. Europe right now is doing a lot of like Hunter middle plus Hunter in the ADC role. That'd be a great item to pick up in that type of meta, is the mid guardian male. But you know, you have to factor that in. That is going to be situational with those 3 items, but for the most part, you're getting those 3 items. In a standard role, you're going to be grabbing your Sovereignty, then your Heartward, then you're probably looking into a Mail of Renewal. Mail of Renewal, one of the strongest items in the game right now. Still great for support. You don't want to pick it up super early. It's not quite as strong stat-wise as your Sov Heartward. It is a little bit better towards the later stages of the game when your 15% health is more base health than it would be earlier in the game. If you have 3k health, 15% is a lot more than if you have, 1800 health, right? Just math. So that's the item that you're looking at, 4th item or so, depending on the team comp you're going against. Another good item for Sobek, if you're going the aggressive route, is Breastplate of Valor. If you go Shoes of Focus in Breastplate of Valor, you've got full cooldown. You're going to be tail whipping everybody, plucking everybody. That's a very aggressive build. It's more of a solo lane style, but you can get away with it in the support role, particularly if they're running a heavy physical defense comp. You could go Shoes of Focus, Mid Guardian Male, Breastplate of Valor. You're not getting the auras for your teams, but you're going to be doing so much damage in crowd control that it'll make up for it. Something to look out for. If you're going more of that damage route as well, Another great item to pick up for your team is Voidstone. This is going to not only give you pen, it also gives you magical defense. It's a great item as well to go against heavy magical damage teams. You're against Freya Bacchus plus a mid laner that's magic. That's 3 magic damage. You may want to go Heartward Amulet into Voidstone. You get tons of magical protections. You get good health from Heartward. You get good damage from Voidstone. It's a great build to be going. Of course, one of our favorite situational items, Wingblade, can be to work in the build right now. Can be kind of strange because of how cooldown's working with Mail of Renewal. You might be going cooldown boots, you know, but it can help you if you go, say, Shoes of Focus, Saw, Mail of Renewal. Well, you have 10% left over. They've got 3 or 4 characters with slows. Wingblade's a great item. Of course, these builds are very situational, but these are the items that you're really looking to grab. Of course, towards the end of the game, one of our favorite damage item, Soul Reaver. Great item to get towards the end of a game. Not something you want to grab early, but it is a great item to look for at the end of the game. Particularly if you're ahead, you've got the Fire Giant, etc. You're looking to put away a game. You pop your ultimate, you hit him with the Soul Reaver, you pretty much did 80% of an ADC's health. Bada bing, bada boom. 1 Janus, 2. Boom. Bada bing, bada boop. That's what you're looking at for your main section of your build. As far as actives go, you're looking at Creeping Curse for healing comps. Sobek already great against healing comps because it was built in anti-healing, but you can never have too much anti-healing, particularly with how popular characters like Hell are in the meta right now. You're looking at Heavenly Agility, which is super strong right now, and you're looking at Shell. These are your 3 main actives that you're looking at. Very rarely are you going to be getting an active outside of those 3. I would start off at level 1 with your boots tier 1, unless you're looking for a kill in lane, / they have a healer on their team, in which case you'll probably start with tier 1 Creeping Curse instead of getting tier 1 boots. Moving into our abilities. So, what do our abilities do? Our 1 is our Pluck. No big deal, pretty straightforward. Our 2 is damage and a knockup. Our 3 is a little bit less damage than the 2, but it also heals you, and it's our healing reduction skill. And of course, our ultimate slows everybody around us when we're in it. It does a ton of damage. It's a build-up skill like Ymir, and you regen mana while inside it, and you get bonus protections while you're inside it. It does a lot for you. It's one of the best support ultimates in the game. And of course, your passive, whenever you use basic attacks or abilities, you get bonus protections up to 21. They last for 3 seconds. You can get 3 stacks max. So, what are we getting at level 1? Typically at level 1, you're going to be getting your Tail Whip. This does the most damage at level 1. It hits all the jungle creeps, and it's got the lowest cooldown. But keep in mind, there is a bit of a problem with Tail Whip right now, in that, if you haven't noticed, the jungle creeps are doing the salsa, but they're dancing. They're like, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm doing a circle. And so, they do that periodically, but Tail Whip really messes them up and almost guarantees that they're going to start doing a little tap dance. And so it can make it harder to land auto attacks. The extra 20 damage isn't worth it if your team then misses their auto attacks because they're doing the salsa. So you may want to get your 3 first, but preferably you'd get your 2. This is also way more aggressive for when you hit level 2 in lane. So look to get your Tail Whip, but you don't have to. It can cause problems with the jungle creeps right now because they're bugged. At level 2, it's situational. You're either going to be getting your Pluck or your 3. You're getting your 3 if you just straight want lane clear. You have no kill potential. You have a really passive ADC, you've got Shibalanka, and you're like, we're not going to get a kill. If you feel like you're confident, you have a Neith, you have a Cupid, you have something that can do a lot of damage, you get your Pluck, you clear the wave as best you can, you pluck their ADC, preferably back to your ADC, they Cupid Heart Bomb, they Neith Root, whatever, after your Hunter's ADC is, after your Hunter's CC is over, then you Tail Whip, this knocks him up again, your ADC gets another free auto attack, you get a free auto attack. If you have Creeping Curse, now you pop it, it should be almost a guaranteed kill in lane. Otherwise, of course, you just clear the wave with your 3. At level 3, you're going to get whatever skill you haven't gotten yet on Sobek, and at level 4, you're going to start leveling up your Sickening Strike. Your Sickening Strike is the skill you will max first. It increases the healing every time you do it. Then you'll max your Tail Whip second, getting your ultimate whenever you can, and of course, leveling up Charge Prey last. And that will be your skill order for Sobek. Thanks guys for watching the video. Hope you learned something here today with the builds and skill orders. For the rest of the week, I'll be releasing videos on how to do laning phase with Sobek against some of the top supports, guys. So make sure to stay tuned to those. Thank you to those of you that subscribe to my channel. Thank you to those of you that watch my stream and that watch my videos. And as always, have a twitching day, y'all.